Welcome, my fellow mad scientists. Today I'm here, me, Evil Monarch, with a new fun game called Monster Cards. It is free on Steam right now. Actually, it will be always for free. Um, and yeah, what you can do basically, it's a card game where you can create your own cards. Both their stats, which doesn't really matter much, but also their art, which is what we are here for. So one of my acquaintances had a good idea where he was going to be drawing one card each day and basically recording the process. So I was, why not? I'll do it as well, right? Because it's fun. It's a fun art game, and you can basically have the stats like give you prompts, basically, like creative prompts, which give you an idea of what to do. For now, I'll be playing with these. What you first have to do is choose like a skill pack, which is basically you choose which skills your cards can have. Cards can have only one skill, and that's basically the only thing that influences this. These four are DLC skills, but you can make cards. Yeah, they are DLC skills, so you would have to buy them. But because it's early access, you can actually make cards with these skills right now. But that's not what we'll be doing right now. Let's just make one basic card right now. I have a little bit of a lore prepared, like theming for my deck. So all my cards will be a part of the theme, but of course the actual form of the card will be highly influenced by what attributes we get. But I would like for my whole deck to be relatively cohesive. You will see maybe some themes, maybe I will reveal the underlying lore of the deck as we go through. So right now we can see our super rarity. Rarity basically influences how strong your card is during combat. And basically to add some attributes, you have to press this button down here. Each card has 4 attributes and they interact during combat basically. For example, wood is countered by fire, but wood counters water. Devil, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, if I right click it, you can see here where my mouse is, where my mouse cursor is. Oh, you cannot see my mouse cursor. I don't think you can see my cursor. Whatever. You can see it like melee here is countered. Oh yeah. Here, if I right click it, you can basically see that when I'm attacking, when I'm in the attacking spot, who I win against. So if I'm wood, I win against water, but lose against the defending fire. And same on defense, because I always win. So when I am defending against water, I win. But when I'm basically on the defense spot and fire is on the attack spot, fire wins. So fire beats in both cases. Fire beats me in both cases. Where the game is really complicated is with species, because there are a lot of species and they basically interact in a lot of freaky ways. There are no freaky ways, there are a lot of interactions, but luckily you don't have to remember them. Yeah, it doesn't really matter much, honestly. Okay, now at the bottom, we can see the attack power. That does not really usually factor into the combat, but it's basically how much HP you lose if the monster attacks you. And now we also got a skill. You can randomly get the skill. And we have Surge right now. Not sure exactly what Surge does, so let me just Google Translate this. There was like a guide which explains all the skills. If you can see these pixels which are not filled, which is like super annoying, and you have to fill it out. And if you use the same layer, then you also fill the draw over the line, and it can be a bit annoying. So that's why I won't be doing it that way. I'll just draw line out on one layer and then color it in on the second layer. So first, let's think of what this thingy could actually be. My story is the theming of my deck. That it's a bunch of scientists doing science stuff. And demons, let's just say that they can also be doing science, right? So we have a demon, scientist. Ooh, but it's more of a explosive kind of guy. So it's not a scientist, it's a maybe a demon who was enslaved by technology, or maybe an artificial demon that the mad scientists use for recklessly attacking enemies. Because it's so aggressive, it will also damage like your friendly forces, hence the surge damage. So you can have a lot of things, right? You can have a guy, and he's like really aggressive, so aggressive he doesn't know his friends, so he has like swords maybe, two horns, and he's mad. We could do a bomb, like a bomb guy, bomb demon, like a classic saw guy, you know, demon, saw demon, chainsaw demon. A lot of things you could do. There could be a guy spitting acid, maybe monstrous slug, slime, slug slime, and he leaves behind pools of acids. Ugh, dreaded Baumancy, and he's evil, demonic. Yikes, yikes, yikes. He's also wooden. Wood element. Obviously, you have to abstract it a little bit. So wood, plants, nature, plant-like, demonic, plant-like creature. Perhaps a poisonous flower. Ah, now we're getting somewhere. A poisonous flower, a fungus maybe, that spreads its spores around and poisons everybody around. Hence, also the friendly damage. He's medium-sized, so it's about the normal human-sized. And wait, it was melee, right? Yeah, melee. That's like abstract, like melee, just close range spores, that's fine. Yeah, let's do a fungus. Let's do a fungus, a mutated demonic fungus. So I'll erase this, and I'll do a light sketch. How do I sketch? I draw on the color layer first. Whoops. That's not doing anything. I don't know why it's not drawing suddenly. Oh, because I have the eraser selected, of course. I like drawing thicker lines when I'm sketching, so you want a big fungus, right? Maybe you can look from underneath it. You don't want it to necessarily appear very big, so other people can tell what element it is, even though it's not really necessary to do it that way. How would you do it? Is that like the spore holes? That's not what spore holes look like, though. It's more, yeah. There's like these things. I don't know what they are. Well, now we have mushroom. How do we convey that it's demonic? Ooh, he looks kind of cute, doesn't he? Well, yeah. And then we can have maybe some effects, like the fungus spores falling down around him. Yeah, that does not look bad. Ooh, but my theming. My scientific theming. There's a little bit of empty space here, so what we can do, to signify he's actually under control of the scientist faction, add a little bit of a radio control. And machines sticking out of his head. He may be a demon from the underhell, but nothing can be the scientific might of technology. Wires can be crisscrossing these things. Some technological pumps, detectors. Yeah, this looks alright. Now I'll swap to the first layer and draw with a thinner brush so you can draw more details. We'll start with the outline, you know, the major features. We want to have a little bit of a 3D effect, so you must keep in mind the perspective. Not that I'm any good at that. There are little knobs here, which are just a result of a wonky pen, but I'll use advantage of that to add a little bit of detail to this thing. I can also like add a little bit of this to really show that it's stapled to the surface of the fungus, really controlling it. Nice, not looking bad. I don't know what this is, but it's alright. These tubes are connecting all these devices. like this nicely. Finally, the end of the cap. We will cap this off, you could say. Ah, yeah, yeah. Nice curve to show that it's on the other side of the cap. Yeah, yeah. And we have to bring it back together. Ooh. I'll actually erase this part so I can add a little bit of 3DH to it. Like this. Nice. Little mushroom guy. Mushrooming at home. These eyes, you can make them scary, they're a little bit cute, I think, by prolonging them. Hmm. What does this look like? I guess it looks vaguely scarier. Let's just finish this for now. Okay, I'm not sure about the mouth completely, honestly. It's aight, it's aight. Maybe he could have a little nose. Maybe a big nose. Nah, that looks weird. How about... Nice long fangs. Yes, yes. Excellent. A tongue, of course. Let me just try something. Human teeth. How's this? Ooh, bit freaky. Alright. About teeth like this. Gums? Nah, I think a few different teeth configurations here. And let's bring the tongue in, like this. Ooh, you can see his gums completely like this. Not sure if that's good or bad. Interesting. The teeth are a little bit asymmetrical, so let me just move this around. I think that looks better. Excellent. Now we'll add the spore sac, spore. I don't really know what this is, honestly. The spore segments. Eyes too big. They interfere with the spore line. Nice, beautiful cap. What do we have here? Okay. Let me try the eyes a little bit differently. Perhaps what we need. Ooh, I do like this. Shifty hide. Ooh. Perhaps a nose would fit him. A nice big nose. Oh yeah. We do love this. And now, a little bit of a spore cloud. I think I will add that at the end. Now, let's do some coloring and backgrounds. We probably want colors. Of course, first we'll erase our sketch. It's no longer necessary. Then we will have to color in the mushroom. Would a dash fit a mushroom? It's kind of a color sketch right now. Sketching around. What would look nice? Perhaps green would be more fitting. Or red. Red? Red with a white cap. Yes. In fact, we could play a little bit with the technology aspect and say that the oh well, how would I say this? I don't know what the mushroom is called in English. muchomurka, we call it. It is a poisonous mushroom with a red cap and white spots. And we could have the mushroom cap be red and the technology parts be white to kind of resemble the muchomurka without like thematically, a little bit thematically, basically. Maybe a little bit grayish, so it has a little bit of a texture. First I am placing down the base color, and then I will actually add a little bit of shading, nothing too deep. You don't want to overdo this, but yeah. Meanwhile, we can think, where would this mushroom be placed in? A laboratory? Directly in nature? It is technically a weapon of war, right? We're using it to fight. Are we gonna place it on a battlefield somewhere? Between its victims? What would highlight it in the best way? Is what we're asking ourselves, basically. Teeth, of course. They have to be white. They could be yellow. Perhaps I'll add some yellow detailing, right? Obviously, I don't want the mushroom body to be the same color as the underside. Perhaps I will change the color of the underside first to be a darker red. Definitely looking, I mean, it's the inside, which is less saturated. The inside is less saturated, and it is darker because it is in shadow. Maybe something like this, maybe even more desaturated. Maybe the burgundy was actually a good call. Yeah, I think I will actually keep the burgundy underneath the cap. Maybe slightly modified. Oops, I was strong on the wrong layer. Something like this. I like this. And then the body. The body was white. The body of the muchomurka is white. Perhaps a grayish, yellowish, sickly, something like this might be good. You can try it out, obviously. Ooh. Now, of course, the teeth do not contrast really well with such color. So we will have to change the color of the teeth. Ooh, this guy's pretty sickly right now. Gnarly. Maybe slightly greenish. Ooh, I don't hate that. I do not hate this slightly greenish color. It contrasts nicely with the red. I'm gonna experiment a little bit. Red. Yellow. A more orangey yellow. Nah, that looks pretty. But what if I use the orange? Okay, that's not too bad. This one does not look bad. Maybe a little bit more yellowish. Ooh, this one looks almost radioactive. What about the blue? Yeah, blue does not fit at all. I really like the yellow. Question is, what type of yellow exactly? We want highly saturated, colorful. I think this one is alright, relatively alright. Yeah, this deeper orange. Maybe a little less saturated. Yeah, this is alright. We can change it up a little bit later as well. Yeah. I should probably not actually be erasing the stuff which is outside. It actually adds character to our drawing. Okay, now we finish the teeth. Then we add a little bit gum color. That's a pinkish usually, pinkish, purplish, slightly more reddish maybe on this guy. After all. Then the tongue, you want it to be a nice red. Of course, the back of the mouth is darker red because there's even less shadow, even less light. So it's gonna be dark. It could be black as well. I can swap it out, of course, with my fill tool to check exactly how it will look. Yeah, it looks alright. I think this looks better. And if it was completely black, I think I liked a little bit of a color actually. Nice, 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 nice. Now we would like the background. So actually, having the plant sit on, I don't know, a desert maybe. Maybe it's in like a deserted land. Ugh. This doesn't exactly necessarily contrast that well. Maybe it's in like a forested area, waiting for its victims. Yeah, this looks alright. Now we can place some rocks here. Boulders, actually, because this guy is the size of a human, right? Roughly the size of a human. Perhaps I should put something here to convey the scale, so people know how big it is. To convey scale, you can do a lot of things. You can place boots down, you can put clothing down that like automatically puts it into place. Trees are difficult because trees are a variety of sizes, so it could just be a small tree or a big tree. Maybe putting a few grass patches would actually fix it. I mean fix, showcase a proper scaling sector. Mm. Yeah, and I actually want to use a darker color in the background, dark, and let's saturate it. Why? Um, because why would it be green, right? It will only be green when, I don't know, it's on the grass level, and this guy is not on the grass level. We actually want to make the floor green. Well, actually, I liked the darker color like this. Maybe I don't want to erase all of that, actually. All of the brown. We should keep a little bit of the brown around. I don't know what I'm doing with backgrounds. Backgrounds are always hard to draw for me. I can write like blobby. Just blobs. Blobs work. They always work. Great. Now I'll just choose a little bit of a smaller brush and put a few details in. Because, of course, I'm on the bottom layer, so actually I'm gonna have to put details on the above layer. Ugh, you never wanna be mixing layers like this, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Look, there are these annoying spots, these pixels, stray pixels from using the fill tool. So I have to draw around these details if I don't know to draw over them, which is a bit annoying, right? Actually, you're right, I should be leaving these things for the end. I think I'll actually lighten them up a little bit. It's a bit dark. Yeah. And now we add a little bit of detailing. So first, we want to add a little bit of a shadow. His cap is in shadow. Okay. I think it gets filled over where the line art is, which is a bit annoying. I'm gonna have to do it like this. Let's see if that was it correctly. Roughly correct. Of course, then let's just say the shade is gonna come in from the top. Roughly. Well, it comes clearly from the front actually. So yeah, I'm just gonna shade in these parts. You don't really want to go overboard with shading, but just a little bit in here. Gonna add a little bit of light here for the cheekbone. And I'm gonna continue here like this, and a little bit on the edge, a little bit behind these, although it doesn't really matter honestly. You do probably wanna shade in these things a little bit, like to add a texture. Not really any idea what I'm doing. It is doing anything? No. Maybe I should add like an inner ring, which is more shaded. Does this make sense? I don't know. I guess it looks fine, even though I don't really have any idea what I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, it's right, it's right. I think I should probably clean up the line art. It doesn't really actually look that good. So, well, line art, I mean, coloring. Okay, that's section layer 3. So let me just go over that. And then go back to layer 2. And the soundtrack is pretty relaxing, honestly. Nice. Now I want to highlight the red. The red is pretty bright, so you do want some highlighting here, like this. Okay, this is enough, I think. But okay, this works really weirdly, right? Because there's the place where it's brightest, and then there's the highlight from the reflection of the sun. I'll place the highlights on these objects, on the metallic parts, like this. Hopefully that will sell the illusion. What? Save, autosave, that was the autosave. It lagged a little bit for me. Yeah. Now we want to add the shading part for the cap. Let me just actually want to color this as a wire. Like this. A dark wire, dark blue wire. To show that it's foreign. And a red wire. I don't know if it will get lost in it. No, it is like a different color. You can see that it's different. Yeah. Then I have to add shading to this, like this, let's say. I think that would look alright. Nice. Then we'll add a little bit of unevenness to sell the texture. And then, of course, add a little bit of shading around the machines themselves and the wires. And nothing too much. You don't want to have long shadows with these things, but just a little bit helps solve the 3D illusion. And likewise, we want to add a little bit of shadow to these mech boxes, machine boxes. Nice! That works pretty well. That looks pretty well, I mean. Now what we would like to do is maybe a little bit of a cheek highlight here. And here on the bottom part, on the cheek here, on the nose. You know we like that stuff. A little bit of detailing on the teeth, a little bit of yellowish tint. Ooh. Like yellow is alright. Like the dirty tooth, maybe instead. Maybe instead we would like red, like dried blood. Can I find the color? Oh. Does this look any good? I think it makes the teeth blend in with the background too much. Actually, yeah. The way I like to shade in blue parts is by, white color is by using blue. So if I want a little bit of a shade on these teeth, I'll use a little bit of blue, light blue. To add a little bit of a 3D effect. And maybe a little bit of color on the eyes. The eyes are in a shadow, they should not be perfectly white. Nice. And if I add a little bit of whiteness to maybe the middle part, would that make it look better? Not exactly. I think there's gray eyes like this are alright. Although maybe on the left one, above the cheekbone, we can make it look a little bit like this. Continuation of the light zone. Now finally, adding details to the background. We have rocks. Obviously, we want them to be more reflective on this side. But obviously, let me color pick this. That would make it easier. To be more reflective on the light side, like this. And you kind of want to sell the shape of it. Not really know what I'm doing, but hey, I think it works. Then you want to go a few blobs like this. Oops, just color pick it, change the value. Just little blobs to help sell the illusion. What illusion? Of 3Dness? I don't know, dog. I don't know. And I can do the same with the dark parts as well. Doesn't really look that well, honestly. You don't want to see them overlap. You don't want the blobs overlap. That will like break the illusion. At least I don't think it looks that good when I do it. Yeah, I can add a little bit of extra shading on these rocks, but honestly 2 shade levels on the background are good enough, I think. Anything more is usually distracting. Nice! Finally, I think for the complete background, I will add a little bit of... I don't know what. Okay, definitely not that. Maybe like bands of... that does not look good. Something like clouds. I was thinking like toxic clouds, or just like normal clouds. Not sure how good this makes it look. Oh yeah, it's at least a little bit extra. It's not bad. And finally, what we wanted to do... Ooh, I forgot what I wanted to do. Alright, the mushroom spores. White spores? We want white spores? And we want them to flow. You have to be careful about this because I'm drawing over the first layer. So I'm drawing over my line art. That is dangerous. If you make a mistake, you have to catch it quickly with Ctrl Z, otherwise you're gonna have a hell of a trouble fixing that. One way to... do I even want to use white, though? For this? White spores? Maybe red spores? No. Would green look better? No, not really. Perhaps I'll use this burgundy again. Okay, using dots is maybe not the best thing, maybe... Okay, that's line too thick for it. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. Not really a fan of this, honestly. Spores. Perhaps pink spores. Yeah, I think I want to have like 2 streams flowing from the left and the right. It doesn't really contrast that well with the body, but it does contrast nicely with the dark background. There it is. I think we're done here. Finally, what you can do is change the background color, but because I drew over every part, it's not really relevant for us. Although sometimes you don't want to draw the background because I think there's like a setting to disable the background so you can only see, so it's not like card shape or something, not sure. But there are reasons you would not want to do it that way, but that's not relevant for us. So let's finish up our artwork, our monster. Melee, wood, devil, medium. You can just write that down. Do, 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 do. You really want a nice variety of all these effects unless you're going for a specific build. So yeah, I'm fine with this. Surprisingly, what a nice card. So what should we name it? Fungoid. Enslaved fungus. Controlled demon fungus. Remote controlled. This is the most difficult part, of course, coming up with a good name. Anti-personal fungus. After all, it functions like a landmine. It doesn't function like a landmine. Because everybody around, right, that's its special effect. Undiscriminating sporoid. He creates spores and he will hurt everyone, even you. I think it's alright with this. Whoops. What you can do here is select a music file, which will play repeatedly as long as the card is in play. Can be pretty funny. Not sure I'll use it for this fungus guy, but you can definitely do something with it later. What else you can do here is write a flavor text. So I'll just say a fungoid native to the regions of the underworld. Its species was transformed by the effects of the great scientists for use in their mad wars. I think we're all right with this. And that's it, the first card. Well, not the first card, but first card I made on the YouTube channel. It's pretty fun, right? Feel free to subscribe whenever if you want to watch more of these, and yeah, see you later.